Alright, so today we're going to be talking about the SRM 9201. So this is very much a budget knife at $30, but has quite a bit of detail for something so inexpensive. I just want to touch on it and why it may be a very good user choice for you if you're looking for something in the budget realm but still has the fidget factor of a crossbar lock. So let's get started. So I've discovered these recently. These are made by SRM, which is actually a sub company of Sanren, which in the past has already been using the axis lock, maybe even before it came off of patent. But they know what they're doing when it comes to that. And this particular design is actually theirs. And it's really well put together. So I want to talk about what's really good about this knife first off, and that is the blade. So the blade on this is D2. The shape is very, very, very nice. And it has a lot of these little details, like these little milling inside the pockets up here. The nice swedge, the really great profile. It's surprisingly thick, yet has that nice hollow grind, so it's actually going to be very slicey. Really, really like the way this curves, and the size is really quite nice at about 3.3 inches, give or take. The action is quite good. All I had to do with this was loosen it ever so slightly, and it worked really good. Still has good tension here, and then it swings shut, no problem. Now this is what it came like, so I haven't adjusted this one. You can see it's a little bit too tight as it comes out of the box, but it's very easy to adjust. Just a T8 right here. These pivots are really well done. They have this SRM logo here with the little blue collar, and they also, give me a second here. They also have just really nice milling on the G10 scales as well. Unfortunately, some of the extra effort I think has been wasted here. Now you can see these beautiful milling of the G10 with nested liners. That's a lot of impressive, costly features in a knife that's only $30. Unfortunately, I think they did themselves a little too much of a disservice milling this too much. If you'll notice right here, there's a little spot, and that is unfortunately quite uncomfortable. Everything on this G10 is just a little sharper than I would like, but I cannot ignore the fact that the handle width is great. The blade shape is excellent. The fit and finish is actually quite good, at least for these two that I got. Now these were not sent to me by SRM. This is something that I purchased myself off of Amazon. And they came quickly. They had them in stock. It's in D2, which is already kind of a surprise at a knife at this price point. With an axis lock, or a crossbar lock, whatever you want to call it. That's quite impressive. I really, really like the blade shape as well. It is fully ambidextrous, this knife. You can see it has a spot for the pocket clip on both sides. It has a lanyard hole in a G10 spacer. And it did come one thing I will say is it did come heavily lubricated inside the pivot area. You can kind of see some sitting right there. Not exactly, it's something, but at least it works out of the box. I have not lubricated or taken this apart yet, but I have heard, and this is something I would want to mention, that this knife is not so easy to assemble and reassemble, disassemble and reassemble. So be very careful when you take the knife blade out. If you're treating it like you would a Benchmade, like like the 940, it's not going to be quite as easy to reassemble and disassemble because there are two sets of washers on each side. So you're going to have a little bit of an issue with that. So just keep that in mind. I think why this is a particularly interesting knife is fidget factor in a knife is something a lot of people are looking for, and finding it in a budget user is very unusual. and having it be completely ambidextrous is also unusual. So this is a very tight niche. There are only a couple of knives, and I think they're all made by SRM and various different knockoff brands. But the cool thing about this one is it actually is their own design. So they got this designed, you know, in-house or by a designer, I can't remember who it was, but then brought it to market. So they're trying with SRM to actually have their own designs, which I admire, and I'm thankful that they're doing that. Fully ambidextrous though, that's kind of a big deal. Other knives like the 80-20.5 or the various different Benchmade's, they are also fully ambidextrous, but at a much higher price point. So you could probably get, what is it, 4 of these for the same price as that one. This is in 154 cm, and I guess now it's in S30V. So there's a lot of upgrades, obviously, as well as the fact that it's a Benchmade. Along with that name, you get incredible service, quality, repair, you name it. I think they're trying to also establish themselves with the SRM. There's a warranty with this as well. I haven't been able to use it, obviously, but I'm curious to see how that warranty really works. But as far as an inexpensive knife with a fidget factor, this is really, really good offering. I have a little bit of an issue with the general ergonomics of it, primarily right at this corner, but other than that, it's pretty awesome. It reverse flicks very well. It actually opens up this way quite well, and then of course we can quickly launch it with just our wrist flick. All in all, the action is actually very good with you just a little bit of loosening. I'm quite happy with it as a budget knife. I would not hesitate to use this heavily for food related tasks or pretty much anything I come across. You can see it really does keep a nice strong tip on this knife. I really like that clip point, extended clip point look where it clips all the way back here. It's really quite nice. Very, very appealing and satisfying. I wish they had just spent a little bit more time maybe simplifying this handle design. I think you can see inside the nested liners, they're all the way in the back. So you could easily remove this entire bump here and make it completely flat. And although that might not be as exciting, I think from a functionality perspective, comfort, I think it's far, far better. So this is the SRM, what's it, 9201 in both the black and satin, as well as the black wash, which is very well done here, by the way. The black wash and tan handles. Honestly, the fit and finish is very good for a $30 knife. They even have a $20 crossbar lock design that I would like to check out as well. And in fact, it's one I've never seen anyone do a crossbar lock of, so I definitely want to check that one out after trying this especially. But yeah, if you want a good steel, fully ambidextrous, fidgety knife, 30 bucks, that's good. That's a good offering, and especially since it's its own style. I mean, certainly it kind of reminds me somewhat of the Crooked River, but actually the shape of the knife is actually different. I was checking that out, and the handle is definitely different as well. So really good that they did something independent, you know, basically completely okay, and I'm all about that. So definitely check these out. 30 bucks. Very, very, very reasonable.